We're here live inside the different Facebook groups, YouTube, and even actually, we're going to be also live on TikTok. So I'm doing a lot of broadcasting here. And with me here is a team from Cloudpages. I have uh, Shoaib, I have Osman, I have Harry. All of you guys, welcome to the program. Today we will go through some of the features of the product so that we have an understanding. And I know that there have been few issues that came up here and there where people are complaining. We're going to address all of that. So when you join us, please let us know where you're joining us from, and then we will be able to know what's going on. So let me see. For now, I see 7 people already there. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. So there is a guy who really knows everything about the product and has been doing all the videos that you have seen on our face on our landing page. His name is Harry. He's going to explain everything in detail. If you have any questions, he's the guy who's the expert. I know that Osman and Shoaib know their product inside out, but there's been communication barriers here and there and sound problems here and there. Now, today we have everything set up. We fixed the issue we had with Restream. And so, welcome to to the show, to the program. Uh, Harry, we're going to make you
Okay.
our, yeah.
Right.
Thank
So
you.
Uh-huh.
we
Okay,
ready?
Harry, please carry on.
I am going to expand yours. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi there. So I'm Harry, and basically to give you a very brief overview, I've worked with Osman and Shoaib for a long time, not specifically on their projects like CyberPanel and Cloudpages, but towards the end of last year, I've always been a customer of theirs, and then towards the end of last year, they asked me if I'd like to join the Cloudpages team, to which I said absolutely, because it's a great product. Cloudpages V1 was really, really good, but it was really hard to use. And that is where I've come into to the team to really try and address these issues so that we can really get across to everyone how Cloudpages is a superb platform. The key thrust of it is why Cloudpages? Why not any of the other panels out there? And the main reason is that Cloudpages is super light, super fast. So you can run Cloudpages with 512 megabytes of RAM, and you'll see as I do the walkthrough that it's just super fast going through the platform. So it's really good if you're stretching your server resources. You don't want to be spending a huge amount on your server. You don't need to pay extra just to run your panel. So that combined with Lightspeed, Open Lightspeed, and Lightspeed Enterprise is what Cloudpages is all about.
Excellent.
So what I'll do is I will share my screen, and then we can have a look.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are. Right. So the main thing about Cloudpages, you see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very clear.
So the main thing about Cloudpages is projects. So everything is grouped into projects. And when I say everything, I mean servers. So a project is not the same as a server. A project is a way of grouping servers together. So an obvious example would be, if you have a client and they have several servers, all of which you're managing, then you would put them all into one project. So if we go into a project, then you can see here the servers. I must just say this is a demo panel, a demo server. So all the servers are demo, and there are certain things that you will see, such as when we go into the websites, you'll see that the SSL certificate is marked as expired. That's because it's demo, but it's quite a good example because it'll show you that the SSL certificate is expired. So you go into a project and immediately you see your servers. Obviously, you can see the information about the OS and your web server, as well as pertinent information there. So if we go into CP Live, here you can see a summary of your server information. So obviously, I don't need to go across stop there. It's pretty self-explanatory what you can do, but you can switch your firewall on and off, and you can restart the server, as well as all the pertinent information, such as your CPU, your cores, and obviously whether you're connected or not. Now, Cloudpages allows access on a very, very granular level. So you can grant access to Cloudpages by project, by server, or even by website. So this is a pretty unique feature, which is really, really versatile and really important. Again, if you want to grant a client access, or a work colleague or whatever access, but you don't want them access to all the servers in a project, then you grant them access to one of the servers in a project. Or you don't want to grant them access to the server itself, you want to grant them access to one of the sites, then you grant them access to the site. So that's a really, really versatile thing that you can do with Cloudpages, which is great. So as we go down, here's your summary page. You can refresh this at any point to in order to reload the indicators there. We don't have them auto reloading the whole time, simply because the whole point of Cloudpages is to keep your server running as optimally fast as possible. So we don't keep on doing the status calls. So going down, services. Services, you've got your Redis, whether you're going to install Redis for object caching, and obviously you down here, you've got your web server and your database, their status, and the amount of memory that they're using. You can refresh the status if you're running a particular call or something and you want to see if there's anything that's having a particular impact at any point, you can then refresh it. PHP Manager, you've got your basic configurations that you'd the ones the majority of people want to access. If you want to go into advanced configurations, then you've got the config file here, and you can make your edits there. Firewall. Now, the firewall has got an update coming, which is really exciting, and well, exciting. It's really useful. Basically, at the moment, you've just got your rules that you set up, but we're going to add custom names to the rules. So in other words, how many times have you gone to a firewall and you've looked at the rules and you've gone, what does that rule do? Who was that for? Why did I set that up in the first place? So you'll be able to add a custom label. So you'll have custom label, then rule description. So you'll be able to make a descriptive name for the rules so that you won't forget why it's there. Mod security, you can install mod security. It's not set up out of the box, but you can install it to create a sandbox environment if you want to. SSH manager, so you've got your basic configurations, and then you've got your SSH keys that you can add. Again, that's fairly self-explanatory. Server settings, so you can change your server name, or you can change the path where the websites are going to be installed. The other thing you can do is you can move a server from one project to another. So if you've got a project which is no longer appropriate, for example, but you want to keep the server within a particular project environment, then you can just move it, create a new project, and move it to that, or move it to an existing project. Lightspeed settings, again, you've got your configuration file here. So if you know what you're doing, then you can sort of make all kinds of changes here, which are really useful, and you can restart Lightspeed from here as well. One thing that I probably skipped over is deploying a server. So you can deploy a server really easily. These are the providers that we offer currently. And if you don't have an API key, then you set one up here. And then you select one of your existing API keys. And then you can name your server, select the location for the provider that you've got, choose your size, and here you can choose Open Lightspeed or Lightspeed Enterprise, and then create server. And depending on the provider and your the API speed, it takes 3-4 minutes to set up a server as a rule. So that is the deploying a server, really, really straightforward. So moving on, we've got PHP applications and WordPress applications. Probably worth starting with PHP. So when you use Cloudpages, everything is created in a PHP wrapper. So when you deploy WordPress, that will be deployed underneath a PHP wrapper that is created specifically for WordPress if it doesn't exist already. Now, the advantage of this is that it means that you can install more than one WordPress install in different folders under the same PHP wrapper, or PHP application, really, as it is. What we're going to do here is we're going to create more of a folder tree structure so that you'll be able to click on the PHP application and see which applications live within the parent application. So whether it might be a couple of WordPress sites, and also maybe you've installed Mautic in a folder underneath that on that domain. So that's just an explanation of how that works. If we go to WordPress, then you've got your WordPress sites listed here. You can obviously see the domain or go straight to the site. Now, feature we've got here, lock, unlock. What this does, it's really a safety mechanism, because if you've got a lot of WordPress sites here, because this will list everything, this will list your staging sites and the whole caboodle. It can be possible for you to go, yeah, okay, that's the one I want, come down here and click the wrong delete button. Now, obviously, you will get a modal that'll pop up and say, you sure you want to delete this? So nothing is going to get deleted without asking you first anyway. But just as a belt and braces, we've got this lock button here. And what that does is that stops this delete button from doing anything other than saying, you've got to unlock this site first. So that's quite a nice, just an extra bit of security for you, a bit of peace of mind to know that if you've locked a site, then you need to go through a two-step process. You need to unlock it, then delete it, then confirm before deleting a site. So if you still delete the wrong site after that, then it's kind of wow, something went a bit wrong. But hopefully that would never happen. And then you can unlock a site as easily as that. Just click lock, unlock. If we go into a site, so this is what's called WordPress Manager. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. If this was a proper site running actually on the domain itself, then you'd have green padlock here saying SSL is all good, but it's not. So you've got a very clear warning here that your SSL has expired. So that's an important thing to know about. If we go across the top here, you've got obviously open. You've got auto login. This allows you to log in without having to go through WP admin, which is just a really quick and easy way. So anyone who's got access to WordPress Manager can log straight in from here. Auto update configurations. This is for WordPress, so you can decide how WordPress updates, and then you've got your plugins and your themes here. So you can set the auto update configurations direct from within WordPress Manager. Obviously, you've got the information about your version, PHP. You can switch LS cache on and off. That will always be installed, obviously. For WordPress, you can put WordPress into debugging mode, WP config debug, switch off search indexing, and go into WordPress maintenance mode as well. Now, you can manage your plugins from here. So you can update your plugins or deactivate them as required. You can do it in bulk by selecting them and then either deleting selected, update selected, and the same idea for themes. Staging. You can create as many staging sites as you like. So you can simply name your staging site. You can use a test domain, which is a subdomain of Cloudpages XYZ, or use your own domain if you've set that up in your DNS manager. Your staging sites will be listed down below here, so you can access them and you can deploy straight to production from here, or delete them if they're no longer necessary, and recreate them for further development work. Access is how you grant access to this WordPress install on Cloudpages. So if you grant them, if you put their email in here, then you'll grant them access to WordPress Manager in Cloudpages. And you can move the app. So you can move this install to a different server, just as simple as anything from here. So you know, that's again a really useful thing if you're in the process of moving between servers. So that's across the top there. SSL Manager. Here you've got SSLs are automatically created when you generate the site. You can also add your own certificates down below. Git Manager, if you've got a Git repo and you want to push from that, then you can do so. You attach your repo here, and then you can push direct from GitHub. You can access your files. So again, you can create new folders and basically go through your file structure here. Rewrite templates, again, your config file. You can adjust your rewrite rules here. Logs, again, self-explanatory. You've got error logs as well, so you can see what between the general access logs and the error logs. Lightspeed settings, again, another config file. If you know what you're doing, you can manage that. You can set your cron jobs for your WordPress install as well. And so, again, that is managed all within WordPress Manager. Bubble wrap. So again, that's, sorry, I said mod security is sandbox application. Bubble wrap's your sandbox application. And again, you can install that from here and set up reCAPTCHA. And then your settings. So obviously you can set your PHP version and your SFTP Linux user for Cloudpages. You can change the password here, and that's how you access, if you want to access via SFTP. So trying to think if I've missed anything at this point. Don't think so. So how about, no, I think we're all good. Okay, so if we go into settings, this is going to be renamed plugin bucket. This is a really nice thing. Basically, you can create a bucket and you can search for any of the WordPress plugins in the repository. You can select it, and then it'll appear here in your bucket. So you can add as many as you want and create a bucket, which will then install when you install WordPress. Again, coming in an update, we're going to allow you to create multiple buckets. So let's say you want to have, you know, a core bucket just for, you know, every plugin that you'd want on a site, just, you know, maybe a magazine site or something like that. Then you can create that kind of bucket. Let's say you've got a different kind of site that you create quite regularly, maybe a membership site or something like that. Then you can create all the plugins necessary for that. And then when you deploy WordPress, you'll be able to choose which plugin bucket you want to use on the installation. So that's coming soon. At the moment, there's just a default plugin bucket that will load on every WordPress install, but the multiple plugin buckets and the option to choose your plugin bucket is coming in an update very soon. Account, that's just your account details. We don't need to go through that. Cloudflare. So the Cloudflare integration it's not the same as DNS Manager. So you're not going to be managing your DNS from here. what it will do is you set up your API keys for your zone and for your Cloudflare account, and then if you already have a zone for your domain, then it will create the A record for you when you deploy WordPress or when you create a staging site. If you don't have a zone, so if it's a new domain name, then it will create the zone for you and the appropriate A records. So that's what this Cloudflare integration does for you. Really, really useful, real time saver. You know, if you've gone, right, I'm going to create a staging site, then, oh, no, I need to go into Cloudflare in order to set up, you know, the subdomain for it or whatever. Don't have to do that. This will happen automatically if you've got it connected. Backups. So the first thing that you need to do when you create backups is add your API keys. So we offer Amazon, Wasabi, and Backblaze at the moment as the S3 providers. You'll see that G Drive is on the roadmap as well. So you simply name your key, whatever it is, you know, Amazon S3 or whatever, add your keys, and then when you create a backup, you can choose which server you're backing up from, which website you want, which WordPress app. Sorry, so again, at the moment it's only WordPress that supports backups, but it will support other PHP apps. So that's why we have website and WordPress app, and S3 key, frequency, and basically add your backup schedule. You can go into your backups, and these are the backups that, again, if this was not a demo site, you'd see your backups here, and you could restore or delete them from there. So I think that pretty much gives you an overview of where we stand in terms of, it's a really, I mean, you saw how fast it was when I was clicking through here. There's no messing about. You know, you click on a page and bam, it's there. So how many times have people, you know, with other panels, you know, you're waiting for it to actually complete the task that you've given. So one thing, didn't actually show you creating a website. So, you know, simple as this. You can create WordPress, a PHP application, sort of Moodle or something like that. We have one-click install for Mautic and PHP on MyAdmin. You add your title. You can use a test domain, or obviously use your own domain, and choose your version. And this is where, at the moment, you've got these options here. And if you created a plugin bucket, that will also get installed. There will be another drop down here in an update coming very soon where you can choose your plugin bucket. And so that's a really sort of nice, powerful feature. So I think that is about it.
Excellent. So there are a few questions coming on. I think I'm going to have to take your. Okay, we're back on the screen. Okay, good. Few questions coming up. So somebody said, I need to know what kind of. So glad to see them back in the LTD space. Now at least the UI is a lot better than the last time, but still a long way to go. Also, many of the issues I sent them last year still haven't been fixed. Who's that? Let me see. There's somebody in the group asking that question. Their name's not saying, it's just saying Facebook user.
Okay, well, without any examples as to what hasn't been fixed, it's kind of difficult to answer that.
Right. So I need to. So yeah, that's a good answer. If you would like to say exactly what has been not resolved, then we can address them. Okay, good. Says the UI is good. Looking for speed effect too. So how's the speed?
The speed of the panel.
Speed is good.
Speed's really good. I mean, you know, as you saw, every page that I clicked on, just, you know, you can see real-time loading here. This is not running on a local machine or anything. This is, you know,
no, the speed of the apps. For example, if you put the WordPress website there, is it very fast compared to when I do my cPanel?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is why we use this is why we use Lightspeed, for that very reason, because Lightspeed is out of the box incredibly fast and incredibly good. Combine it with LS Cache for WordPress, and you've got the dream team, really.
Excellent.
So you can't. I mean, this is why Open Lightspeed and Lightspeed Enterprise are so incredibly good. Is that they just don't require messing about. With Nginx and things like that, you can get them going fast, but you've got to set it up, and you've got to do a lot of configuration in order to get it working. Now, you don't have to do that with Cloudpages. You deploy a server. It's running on Open Lightspeed. Everything's configured for you. The overwhelming majority of people simply don't go into the configs for that.
Right. Excellent. So there have been in the past a couple of questions that people raise in the group. We launched Grid Pane in this group, and quite a number of people bought that. And we also launched Server Avatar. Which one is Cloud Pages closer to? Is it closer to Grid Pane or is it closer to Server Avatar? That's the question that people have been asking.
That's an interesting one. Um, GridPane and Server Avatar and Cloudpages all help you manage your servers in a very good way. The main thing about Cloudpages is ease of use. Whoever it was who said that the UI is better, but it's still not. It's still got a long way to go. Yeah, we take that on board. We're not finished. All we've done is basically get Cloudpages out of V1 into V2, which I hope has demonstrated to everybody that we're not messing about. This is something. It's already a very, very capable panel, but we've got a huge amount that we're going to do. So that's why getting on the LTD would be a very sensible idea now, because you're going to see huge number of improvements as the months progress. Again, without going into what GridPane does versus what Server Avatar does versus what Cloudpages do, they're very similar. They are very similar. Open Lightspeed is and speed of the panel is the main thrust of Cloudpages, and also the fact that it's so lightweight. 512 megabytes of RAM. That means that you really don't need to think about what server you're running or what server you're paying for in order to run your management panel. I don't know if Usman or Shoaib have got anything else to say on the GridPane Server Avatar question.
Okay, so the other question coming up is that the bucket needs the ability to upload plugins that aren't in WP repo. Premium plugins do not exist in WP repo.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yes, we do.
Mhm.
Yeah, go on,
Yes,
Usman.
uh, sorry. Yes, we don't have the upload ability right now, but we will discuss this internally with the developers, and we will add in the roadmap. We will take some. We will do some discussion on this, and we will add this in our roadmap.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the main thing is with the plugin bucket, you can get your core plugins there. Yes, I know that some premium plugins don't, but having said that, a lot of premium plugins do force you to install a base plugin first, which is just an extra step. At least you can get that out the way first. But as Shoaib said, we will look at custom uploads for your own specific premium plugins too, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but says WP needs more love. What does that mean?
Don't know.
Okay, so somebody is giving you a good testimonial here saying, I've used it for more than a year, 100% up and works with no issues. That's good. That's good news. I've had a
Yeah,
couple of complaints here and there, but then there are a lot of people who are using it all the time, doing very well with it. Unfortunately, they don't come brag about it. But the one who have one issue complain everywhere. So that's the problem we had seen in not only with you guys but with other products as well. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. And I can't stress enough that yes, V1 was not easy to use. You know, hands held up. That that is true. V2 is really easy to use. But the important thing is, even with V1, everything worked. No one dropped a server, nobody suddenly lost their sites, that kind of stuff, and it was really fast as well. So the core of Cloudpages is really stable and really solid. Now we're putting a nice UI on it.
Right. So somebody else asks, where is the deal running at? The deal is running at digitalthink.io, and it's on the front page. You actually go there, you should be able to see that. So I didn't put the link on the live because sometimes Facebook penalizes you for this. I think that's why we had issues the last few days. But definitely you can grab the lifetime deal of Cloudpages, really affordable. We negotiated the price down from 997, which is crazy, to bring it only to $597 for the agency, which means you have unlimited servers, access to all the features of the platform, and grab there. To go there, you can do. I'm gonna do more lessons on this and more lives on this, but I just want to make sure that the founders, the people who are behind the product are here and answer your questions, because there's other ways. There's a reason why I went for this deal. I have 3 deals right now on the waiting list for me to launch. They are going to be launched. We have 92 deals on the waiting list, 3 right now already ready. But there's a reason why we brought this deal now, because a lot of you guys, we launched Grid Pain on this group. We raised about $150,000. Then we launched uh, sub avatar. He only gave me specific codes to sell, about $60,000 worth of codes. And now people were asking me all the time, can we get something for our servers? Can we get a deal? Can we bring back sub avatar? Can we bring back GridPay? Well, because they are already not on lifetime deal anymore, they did enough, to have, now they have a good MRR, monthly recurring revenue. So I had to talk to Cloudpages, and they agreed to come on our platform. That's why we have this deal running. And of course, I have an agenda behind it, Alex. I'll come that with that. So we have 60 days of explanations and everything. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're watching this, we have a coupon code that comes with this deal right now. It's gonna run only for the next few days. That coupon code will expire very soon. It's if you use the coupon code Digital Think on your checkout, you're gonna get 10% off. Okay, so grab it at digitalthink.io. We launched so many deals in the past. A lot of them did very well. Yeah, one of the ones that are doing well, you guys know them very well. So we may have 1 or 2 deals not doing well, but majority of the deals do good. Now the other thing we do with Harry here, everybody here, we will be taking your feedback and making sure that all these are implemented. You can take a look at their roadmap. You can see that these guys are serious. They have a lot of experience in this server, area. They have a product called Cyber Panel, if I'm not wrong, which is supposed to
Yes.
compete with cPanel. So if you're gonna go that far, I mean, doing a server panel is not gonna be a problem for them. So they just need that additional eyes that have the user side experience. I think that's why they have Harry here, who's explaining everything for us. He's part of the team as well. And so I think you guys will be in good hands. And that's why we have this product.
Can
So
I
yeah,
just say one more thing,
yeah,
which is uh, I think Usman needs to be noted here because he's a very quiet individual, but he is one of the world's top experts in Lightspeed. So we haven't just plugged Lightspeed onto this. Usman actually is integrally involved uh, with Lightspeed and knows he knows it better than just about anyone. So you're in very safe hands.
right. So does it run in any type of VPS or just in Linux? This is another valid question. Are you for the
Uh,
server? Are we talking about Linux servers or Windows as well?
The Linux. We are supporting right now. When we launched Cloud Pages, we only support the Ubuntu 20.04. But now we are supporting 22 as well.
That's for VPS and Linux ones, right?
Yes, yes.
But
You
do you
can,
do Windows? That's the question. Other server, only
No,
Linux for that.
it's Linux. Yeah.
Linux.
it's,
That's that. Okay, good. So very clear. Only Linux
I
servers.
think, sorry to interrupt you. I think he is asking for can he run any type of VPS? Like we are not specifically bound to any VPS provider. You can use
Uh,
any VPS provider.
Also, any type of VPS, good, if it's running on Linux. Well, we also got the other question out of the way. Okay, both answered. If you have any type, if you have Linux, you can run any type of VPS. Is that the answer?
You can get VPS from any VPS provider. That VPS must have Linux.
Linux, good.
So you must be running Linux, but you can use any provider. Now that's an important thing to say. We've got our one-click installs for the providers that you saw,
Right.
but we are also, again, in an update coming to a town near you. We are going to integrate manual deployment as well. So it really will be any VPS provider.
Good. Excellent. So how many websites could be managed in the freelancer plan lifetime deal? Depends on this.
There is a server limit of 5. There is no limit on website on each server. You can manage unlimited website.
Yeah. So you can have as many websites as your server can hold. Right. Okay. And any other questions? All the questions coming. Yeah. So this is very important session, guys, just to make sure that we clear things out. And so here's the thing. There are a couple complaints in the groups. Okay, I saw one or two people complaining. How? Well, what's the root cause? I want to make sure people are not, they're very clear on this one. If you want to address this, Harry, why would
Mhm.
somebody complain and go everywhere? What's going on? Like, is it because like you guys don't respond to the tickets? Is it because the product was complicated? Is it because your first launch you launched something that was probably not even beta? So what happened? How did things go? And what's different now? What's the
Yeah.
different?
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to apologise to anyone who I know there are two or three individuals particularly. So I'd like to apologise directly to them if they feel in any way aggrieved. I believe it is simply because on the Facebook group this is something that we have absolutely sorted out, but on the Facebook group. Comments perhaps were not being responded to when Cloudpages was in V1. Every support ticket, as far as I'm aware, in V1 was dealt with, but the group was perhaps not as nurtured as it should have been. So I think people felt that they weren't being listened to, and that is no longer the case at all. That is part of the reason why I'm involved in V2. Is to make sure that we have strict rules in place to handle everybody's comments and questions. Customer service at the end of the day, you can have the most wonderful product in the world. If you don't offer decent customer service, then it's pointless. So we don't want to just offer decent customer service. We want to offer exemplary customer service. And that is what we are doing now and how we will go forward. Shoaib, while we've got Usman, who's Lightspeed expert, Shoaib, there's nothing Shoaib doesn't know about servers. So if there are any technical issues with a server, if standard support can't sort it out, then Shoaib will get on the case and he will get it sorted out for you. So, we've got a really robust team. We have, again, hold my hands up. In V1, things were not as good as they should have been, but we're turning it around. We have turned it around, and you can see the improvements on the UI already. And I can promise you this is translating to the customer service side of things as well.
Right. Excellent. So the person came back. JIT. I'm sure you can read that comment. He says there's a number of things that he reported that wasn't resolved, including the remember me checkbox. And he said he communicated this to Shuaib that on the login page dies after you enter your two-factor OTP, right? So that's one. Still on two factors via OTP, only email-based two factors. Three, uptime resource usage monitoring and notifications. Sub Avatar is literally killing it with notifications on Telegram Slack. Okay. Still no UI to manage PHP extensions. Five, uh, thing and bug show directly. I don't know, but people have been facing issues with support as is pretty evidence from the posts in the group. The UI is better, but the UX is still below average. There are several more, but I make it list. But again, in this comment, he says he's very he understands, regarding the updates and improvements. Of course, it's happening, and he's not discarding the team's effort. He understands they've been very ready and are improving, and they're definitely serious about the product. He
Yeah,
recognizes all that, but then say, "This is the list of things I sent," and some of
Yes,
them seem straightforward to be
I,
solved.
yes, Ali. I am also in touch with Jit. I know him, and yes, he made some. Yes, I will note all these. He add here, but some of he add here like he number one. Where is? Let me find from one. So basically, JIT is a person. He asked for the for a feature Cloudflare Real API IP access. The feature is in Cloudpages is because of JIT. He asked for that, and we applied that.
Good. Yeah, and then he also
Uh,
recognizes you guys did a lot of good things. So go ahead, go ahead. Yeah,
So
yeah.
remember me checkbox is already in our roadmap and will be there soon. 2FA, our email 2FA is working fine.
Yeah, I think
I will,
notifications is definitely something that we can look at, and something that needs some proper attention, because that is really, really useful, and that's a really valid point. I'd just like to say comments like this are invaluable. We love them because they're actually saying this, and this, and that's great. We'll never sort of get offended or whatever by a comment which actually is saying these are the specific things that want to be changed, because that's how we learn and grow. PHP extensions, yeah, absolutely. We were discussing that very, very recently, so stand by on that one. Issue with support, we've already covered that. That you should not face that issue anymore.
the issues, the sport issues already not there. If anyone like have any urgent issue, they can also text me in my Facebook as well, because we have a very small community of 500 plus users. They are also JIT is also in touch with me on Facebook, and also I am also checking tickets on my own as well.
good, good. So yeah, it looks like also there's been a lot of good updates, and he's been talking about them as well here. That's good. So all these features, one-click installers, I hear backups are live and working good. Cloudflare integration is almost here. It's almost. Is it there or almost? Okay, there's recipes for buckets. Good. The whole in 2010 UI, you won't even miss. Hope they raise good funds, and we will work towards a better product. That's good. So somebody else says, sorry, they lost the connection. So can it be deployed in any VPS running Linux? I assume that you can run Laravel apps, so code igniters, stuff like that in any server, correct? I mean, WP is just an option, but it's fine if you use whatever. I almost don't use WP. So Laravel, code igniter, any PHP scripts are okay?
Yes, you can run any type of PHP script on Cloudpages.
Okay, perfect. That's the answer you're looking for. Okay, good. So those are the great questions coming. And definitely, of course, now that you come on, the reason why we have digital things slightly different from other launch platforms is we actually bring you to the group, we introduce you to the community, and we see your face. Then you're saying things on the camera. Tomorrow you can back out, right? So when you say the support is going to be there, we will help you out. We make sure the product gets updates, and then you sleep next morning once you raise some funds. Of course, it's not going to be good. So um, yeah, so these are the this is why we're here. Another question is coming. Can we run Python?
No, on cloud pages you can only run PHP based application.
Only strictly right now for PHP scripts. Okay, makes sense. Good. So the community will come to know you. You know, we see the faces behind it. I honestly saw Cloud Pages before, but I didn't know Shoaib. Like, although you were my Facebook friend for a long time, I actually didn't know you were actually involved. You know, and Osman, same thing. I see you posting stuff, but didn't know you were. I think we lost Osman there.
Yeah,
Uh,
lost him.
yeah, and then good to see her here, who is different. I mean, you're in the UK, right?
Yeah,
Different time zone as the other guys. So if when those guys are sleeping, at least we can hear from you. Okay, good.
exactly. We're cross border.
Cross border international team. This is great. And any other question? Okay, I see here another question. Especially for agencies, what's the status on white labeling? Do you have a white label program for
We
agencies?
don't
Right.
at the moment. That's the short answer. We don't at the moment. Whether that's something that we would look at is a question, but at the moment the answer is no, we don't.
Mhm. Okay, so right now, no white label. But in most cases, I mean, if you're handling the client sites, definitely they don't need to know where you host and how you host them, right?
Yeah,
Unless you
and also
access. Yeah,
to a degree, there's also the reassurance that the panel is one that people know exists and is used by lots of users, rather than it just sort of saying an agency name. That what happens if the agency disappears? Then does that mean my panel's gone and my servers go down?
right, right. That's also powerful. Yeah. Any other questions? Let me double check. I hope I didn't skip anything. So the UI, the UX is good. The knowledge of the team is amazing. You know, the tool itself, especially with what they're doing with WordPress. I think they're going really deep there with all this light speed and all the SSL, everything you need to run WordPress agency. To be honest, this is very
Yeah,
powerful.
it's the granular access as well is another really important thing. The fact that you can grant access on website level, server level, or project level, and that's something that we really, when people use it in an agency environment, they find it really, really powerful.
Excellent. Yeah. So the purpose of the agency, right? That's the point. You can give access every single client, you know,
Yes.
have access to their website, right? And they don't have to see any
Yes.
other person's, website. So that's very powerful. It's not even at server level, at website level. So which means you can start your own shared hosting company, just like GoDaddy, compete with them and put 100,000 people on one server.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
because it's open light speed and cloud pages, it'll go pretty fast. So you're in safe hands.
exactly. Any more questions? So if we don't have other questions, I'm gonna let the team do their conclusion and tell us what's on the roadmap, what's coming.
Shoaib, why don't do you want to do some talking on the roadmap, or I'll bring it up?
If you bring it up, I can add you need from my side as well.
Okay, let me.
Share your screen.
Right, let me bring up the roadmap. Actually, you know what? Let me just do this. Okay. Right. Where are we here? Okay. Okay. You see the
Okay,
roadmap?
let me share my screen. Yes, I found. I okay. Can you?
Sure. Yeah, that's the screen.
Okay. Uh, so, Ali, Jit asked for the remember button click. So this is already in progress, and here it is.
Hmm.
We are the other feature that it requests is the PHP extension feature. That is also here in the progress. The person asked that if he can apply any type of VPS from any provider. We have this option in one V1, but we are also going to give this option in V2 soon. So here it is. We are going to integrate a Munify AV, a
Hmm.
full server scanner very soon. We are going to launch server level logs. You can check your server level logs on your cloud pages. And I think all the feature asked by JIT are complained is are covered in this in progress feature. We are
Excellent.
doing all these things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So,
And
So you can see the main sort of important ones there: deploy server, uh, to any VPS manually. That's going to be really great, and also Immunify AV, so you'll have malware scanning.
excellent. Excellent. Okay, so for those of you guys, yeah, we can share the link actually to this, so they have an idea of what's coming up. And for those of you who are watching live, there's a coupon code for you, 10% off, and you use the coupon code Digital Thing during the checkout, and you will get 10% off of what's listed on that price. Okay, and this is coming because you've taken your time to come here, and this code will be only good for the next few days. After that, we'll remove it. I will have actually a timer running to show when that will happen. So I'm thinking it will be within 5 to 7 days maximum. Any more questions? Let me see. Maybe one more. Okay, this is one more question. When will you have a backup with FTPS and Google Drive?
Well, you can see on the roadmap, G Drive backup is there, so it's planned.
It's
It is
planned.
coming.
Okay. So hopefully in the next few months down the road, well,
Yeah, a few months sounds like quite a long time. I wouldn't say a few months. I would say in the near future.
in the near future. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it's coming to the end of the hour. We've been uh, having a lot of fun answering all your questions. Of course, the walkthrough videos on the website digitalthing.io. When you go there, step-by-step demo of the tool from end to from A to Z. And if you have any more questions, of course, post them in the group. Let the team answer, and we'll continue to be here. We'll do a few more scheduled lives in the next few days, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye, everyone. Oh, one more. Sorry, one more question before I say this. How many LTD accounts you're selling this time? Is this sale based on the number of LTD? No, we have. It's actually no. We have a number. We have a dollar figure that we have to meet. Once we meet this number, we're out, and it's not that much money we're looking for. The idea is not about the money. It's just to get these sessions out to make sure we give back to the community with these discounted, heavily discounted. The agency code was $997 on AppSumo. You guys remember that? You can go ahead and check the history. And we brought this so that we can do a product education. The team, wants people to know about the tool, all the changes happening, all the new, they're focused on it a lot more than they were last year because they were just a beta. They saw the test for the market, and now they think it's something that they can focus on. So that's what it is. One more question came up before I leave. FTP, SFTP would be welcome. That should be the next after. Do we have anything like that?
Yeah, we can look at that for sure.
Okay, excellent. FTP, SFTP. All right, guys. Thank you so much again. Bring all your questions in our next session. We'll schedule and let you guys know. Thank you, Osman. Thank you, Shoaib. Thank you, Harry, for coming. Really appreciate your time and feedback to the community. Thank you,
No problem.
and have a